Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to fill our heroic sport, Palavandle TG, with sand. Heroic Sport was kind enough to send me this club a couple of months ago, and I've been using it, but I realized that we did not make any videos showing us filling this thing up or using it, so we're going to remedy that really quickly. This club has several pieces to it. It has a very large handle. I'm not quite sure what the diameter of this handle is, but it's much bigger than normal clubs. Most clubs are 1 inch to 1.25 inches. This seems like it's pretty close to 2 inches, or maybe 1.75, not sure. I don't have a mic with me right now. But the handle is substantial in size. The bigger the handle, usually the better the grip challenge. So you can get away with lighter weight, but get more intense grip challenge because of it. The length on this is excellent. If it's too short, you don't get enough lever. So these do come in multiple sizes. I believe that this is the long one, but I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look it up again. What we are going to do is we are going to take off this nut. I don't know if it's metric, but I am using a 1/2 inch socket to take it off. You could use anything that fits in there to take it off. The main thing is just not rounding off the nut. If you round off the nut, it'll make it really hard to get on and get off later. The point of this is that it's fillable, which means you kind of want to be able to take it on and off. What we're going to be filling this with is Quikrete tube sand. Tube sand is something used by farmers. It's a long tube of sand. It's 60 pounds. It's put on the wheel well of your truck in order to make the back of your truck heavier in icy weather. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's an ice storm outside the barn right now. So we all have tube sand in the back of our truck. It's not great sand. It's not like super fine playground sand or anything, but it totally works. We're going to take this nut off. I have it on loose right now. When you're using it, you would like to actually tighten it down, but it's loose from me emptying it to come on this trip for family. On this thing is a washer and the nut. That is on what we consider something like all thread, which is this bad boy here. It's a long threaded piece of steel that runs down through the center and down into the handle. And then the body of our Palavandle is a piece of tubing. Feels like some type of PVC, probably made out of something sturdier and heavier. Then we have our sexy top piece, which is recessed so that they all fit together smoothly. Make sure you set down all your pieces in a location. Don't lose them in the hay on the floor. You probably don't have hay on your floor, but some of us have hay on our floor. I will be doing my measurements with a cup. This is a cup that's in the barn here. We use it to measure out horse feed. So it's not pretty, it's not sexy, it doesn't have to be, it just has to be a cup. Sand weighs 0.8 pounds per 1 cup. If you're in Europe, I'm sure you guys have a measuring unit there per kilograms or whatever of sand. Problem with tube sand is that it's sealed closed with a big steel clip. Once you open it, you're not closing it back up again. Side note, today's knife is my favorite pocket knife, the Randall Adventure Training full-size folding knife. Great knife, not very expensive, but kind of up there in quality with like a Benchmade. They don't make Benchmade AFCKs anymore, but those were my favorite knives. Each one of these measured cups is about 0.8 pounds. If you wanted to, you could come up with a measuring unit that is 1 pound per scoop. We'll do that in another video where we'll make a container that is specifically 1 pound per scoop. So I filled this thing up almost to the top. I'm going to give myself a little bit of space in there. I put in 10 cups. Slide on our top piece. Give it a good shake to settle it. Blow off your all thread. And then we are going to hand tighten down our screw. You need to do more than hand tight. If you just leave it hand tight when you're swinging this thing around, you'll probably eventually back that nut off and lose it, and the whole thing will fly apart in a bunch of pieces, which is not cool. I'm just using a 1/2 inch because that's what I have here. I don't have metric. I don't know if they are metric, but 1/2 inch seems to work well. So we're going to tighten it up. Give it a couple cranks down. Seems good. So now it's all filled up. The top is back on. Everything looks sexy. And now it's basically a giant maraca. And it feels good. The fun part about these things is the shifting weight of the sand. If you fill this up with something heavier than sand, then it gets a lot more fun. I would like to fill it up with steel shot. I just have to find somebody who happens to have 20 pounds of steel shot lying around. Because of COVID, things like that have been a little bit harder to find. We are going to use this to do some videos upcoming, but this is a good piece of equipment. If this is what you can get right now, it's totally worth the money. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.